Guardians, Red Sox, tonight 6:10. We'll get out of here a couple minutes early. Make room for your first pitch, and then they will hit the road. They'll go to Atlanta to play the Braves. They'll go to Houston to play those cheating Astros.
Those Astros suck this year.
Do they?
Yeah. They're not White Sox bad, but they're bad.
Nobody is White Sox bad.
Historically bad.
Yeah.
Crap sacks.
Well, by the way, as of this past weekend, I don't want you to sleep on the fact that your Cleveland Monsters are in the playoffs, too.
That's right.
If you're a hockey fan, they clinched the North Division Championship. They beat the Toronto Marlies 3-1 and clinched their first North Division Championship title in franchise history. So now they're going to go.
They won the Calder Cup before they won the division?
That's what I couldn't figure out.
crazy.
I'm like, that is very strange. Because they have won a Calder Cup, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yes.
Same year as the Cavs, the 2016.
Right.
Big year.
They were in the shadow of the Cavaliers, but yeah, I couldn't figure that. I'm like, maybe I'm reading this wrong, but I guess it is possible to do that. So your Cleveland Monsters, cold steel on ice. They're in the playoffs, killing it. Hey, Chris, hello.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, man? How are you?
Not too bad. I've been a fan for a really long time. I actually just moved to Cleveland, though. I used to listen to you like 20 years ago in Pittsburgh. And it was probably one of the highlights of my day when somebody would call in to screw with you, and you literally would either make them cry or get so upset they would just scream obscenities and hang up.
Yeah, well, I had a much more adversarial relationship with my audience back then, Chris. Now I'm all about the love, baby. All about the love. You just moved to Cleveland from Pittsburgh, Chris?
Yes.
Okay. Is that your hometown?
I was from Butler, lived in Pittsburgh for a while, and now I'm in Cleveland. So,
a work brought you here, or a woman?
Work, actually.
Work, yeah, okay. Okay, well, listen, glad to have you back, Chris.
Yeah, as soon as I heard you, I was like, I got to call in. This can't be real. Because I haven't heard you in, it's been 15 years or something.
Yep, left Pittsburgh, went back home to Chicago for a few years, and then came to Cleveland. So, yeah. Okay, thank you, Chris.
Well, yeah, I look forward to listening to you.
Thank you, pal.
All right, keep those expectations low.
Oh, he knows. Like he says, he goes back 20 years with me. Yeah, that's always, I've been doing this for a long time, and when you're faced with that, it can be very strange. Probably a year or so ago, I was taking my daughter to soccer. She was in some soccer skills class before her season started. She had played my younger daughter had played soccer for a few years, and this guy walks up to me. It's a guy with a couple of little kids and a wife, and I'm just sitting there. I'm probably scrolling on my phone or something while she's out doing whatever she's doing. This is an indoor thing at that Force. What's that place in Rocky River? The Sports Force Complex or whatever?
Something like that.
Yeah, so it's not outside. And this guy walks over, a grown man walks over, and he goes, "Are you Alan Cox?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "Dude," he goes, "I used to listen to you." God, what did he say? "I used to listen to you in junior high, high school in Pittsburgh." And I go, "Hey, thanks, man. This is a dude now who's got kids."
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "Oh, right.
Long time, man.
Long time."
You know how many, I've been, in May, it's going to be 20 years of doing stand-up comedy, and there's a new faction of young comics that have been alive less than I've been doing comedy.
Right.
Like 19 and 18-year-olds that are like, yeah, how long you doing comedy? I'm like, since before you were born. It's, yeah.
Oh, you're going to have more competition, by the way.
Oh.
Mary's not here today, but, Mary has been, she's prone to lamenting the fact that it can be a very crowded field where she is. Everybody's got it's not as bad as L.A., where a waiter has a friggin' script treatment under his arm. But, everybody's jockeying for position in the comedy community. They're trying to get time on stage, trying to get scripts done. They're trying to do this. They're trying to do that. Well, one more person, an unlikely person, has entered the fray. Somebody who's pivoting into her comedy career. Padma Lakshmi. You know who Padma Lakshmi is?
Yeah, she's a chef, right?
Super foxy,
Yeah.
not a chef, but she hosted Top Chef for like 20 years with Tom Colicchio over there on Bravo. And she has been developing a comedy series with Paul Feig. He's the guy behind Bridesmaids and Freaks and Geeks that she will produce and star in.
What's the barefoot Contessa?
That's a different woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she is a chef. But Padma Lakshmi, she used to be married to Salman Rushdie. She's, I think, super hot. She's probably my age, maybe, a little bit younger. They say she's
53,
a regular.
yeah.
Well, how old is she?
53.
Oh, older than me.
Yeah, a little older
I
than
thought she
you,
was younger than me. She's a regular at the Comedy Cellar. And she said, she's cameoed on SNL and things like that. She's been taking classes at UCB. She has been doing a sold-out show called Padma Puts on a Comedy Show with funny people, Michelle Buteau and Jabuki Young-White, and, So they're in the mix there in New York. She is starting from scratch with her comedy career. So,
I mean, I'm sure she's got chops from just being a host. I think that translates well to being a stage performer, and she is a writer as well. So this is kind of a natural move.
Anytime I've seen her like try to be funny, I shouldn't say try, like be funny on Top Chef, it was always like bone dry, which I like.
Right.
It can go right over everyone's heads, but so Padma Lakshmi. People coming from all sides, boy. Speaking of Freaks and Geeks, I was reading an article with a guy. Over the course of my career, I've been a real nerd about the business, knowing names of people who were running networks and managers and things like that. And, and there was a guy who used to run Fox named Garth Anseer. And I don't know what he's doing now. I don't know if he's still in the business. He might be on staff at one of these streamers now. But been in the TV business for a long, long time. Garth Anseer was the guy who I think he picked up Married with Children for Fox, but he was also the guy, because he had left NBC to go to Fox, he was also the guy who canceled Freaks and Geeks. And he said that to this day, that is his biggest regret. A guy who's been in television, he's been a television executive for 35 years. He's like, my biggest regret ever was canceling Freaks and Geeks.
Because look at
after one season.
Yeah.
Now, hindsight's 20/20, and that's where your regrets come from.
But it had
right?
an audience, and it was on Saturday. Yes.
I thought that it got canceled because everybody has romanticized it, but I thought nobody was watching it.
I mean, it was a show. It was a hour-long dramedy on Saturday, and it had a pretty good audience for that time.
Wow. Because I didn't watch it. I know that's one of those shows everybody is supposed to say like they were super cool and watch it. I did not watch Freaks and Geeks.
I caught episodes when I could, but I mean, it was on Saturday, and it was at year 2000. I was working as a pizza delivery driver, so I worked most Saturdays, or I was at shows or something. Like, I had a lot going on. But I loved that show. And then when it came out on DVD, I bought the DVDs right away and just ate it up.
And it was one season, yeah? And everybody on that show pretty much got famous. I mean, went on to other things. Linda Cardellini and Jason Segel. And
everybody's had a pretty solid career.
Yeah.
Busy Phillips has done a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
You got a lot.
She's on Girls 5 Eva.
Yeah.
Funny show. Let me give you money here. It's your last chance today to grab $1,000 until tomorrow morning.
The dad just passed away from Freaks
Oh, yeah,
and Geeks.
Joe Flaherty.
Yeah.
Yeah, from SCTV.
and Happy Gilmore.
Yep. I'd argue he was the least known out of that SCTV group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still had a very successful
career.
Yeah,
he was in all kinds of stuff.
I mean, he was a character actor for a long time, just like we need a dad type or a kind of weird dude, and he nailed that.
Yeah. $1,000 here for you to do with whatever you want. I hope you win. Good luck.
This is your chance to bet with the Buzzard Bookie and win $1,000 now. Enter this nationwide keyword at WMMS.com. Win. That's win. Enter it now at WMMS.com.
Yeah, Freaks and Geeks had 14 million viewers a week.
Wow.
On a Saturday, which is, I mean, that's
in 2000,
giant.
that's huge.
In 2000, that's huge. But right now, that'd be one of the #1 TV shows around.
Yeah. Somebody texted me and blew my mind. Freddy Got Fingered is streaming on the Criterion channel.
Yes, somebody told me that too. Thank you.
It's on Disney Plus in Canada.
Ooh,
for our Canadian bureau chiefs. Yeah, our VPN, yeah.
And get that VPN. Look, it's like it's streaming in Northeast Ohio, too. Not that far from Canada, especially from my condo right across the lake.
Yeah. Alan, you were talking about a window slamming shut in your Window Nation commercial. My friend's ex was killed by a falling window. Locked her keys inside, climbed through a window to get them, and the window fell on her neck and snapped it. Wow. An internal decapitation. She was a terrible person, but that's still a bad way to go.
Yeah.
Wow. Imagine that. I got to go in and get my keys because I'm like, that must be a hell of a window. Like those old houses with those just massively heavy windows. They found a murdered dolphin in Louisiana. We have a handful of bureau chiefs in Louisiana. I don't think we have anybody near Cameron Parish. They found it washed up on Mays Beach. This was a dolphin full of bullet holes. The feds are involved now trying to figure out what happened. But they did an autopsy on the dolphin's body, and they said that there were multiple bullets in its brain, spinal cord, and heart. They're offering a $20,000 reward. You could get two of them flamethrower dogs for that money. You find out who shot up this dolphin.
Right.
That's pretty wild. Here, I'll show you a photo if you're watching live.
Oh.
When they do the animal autopsy, there's part of the dolphin. This is from 2020, but, I mean, I guess they're trying to narrow down who did it. Imagine seeing a dolphin, because it was probably just something that was beached, and somebody walking by, and they just, pump it full of... my wife and daughter just swam with the dolphin.
Coming right for me.
Oh.
You don't know.
I felt like
dolphins are smart. You never know.
They're very smart.
They could have been a threat.
You go, I felt like my life was in danger.
We also know dolphins are rapey.
Oh, you think that this was a person that was worried they were about to be sexually assaulted by the dolphin?
I'm not saying. I'm just saying I don't know what the motivation is. We don't know the whole story, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Imagine they had a good reason. They weren't just being some jerk off with a gun killing dolphins for no reason. Unless that's exactly what it was, which probably was that. But we don't know.
Well, it's $100,000 in fines if you get pinched, because the Marine Mammal Protection Act is a federal law, and it's a felony. It's a federal crime to do anything to marine mammals, including dolphins. Speaking of mammals, Megan Thee Stallion. I'm not sure what to make of this story. This cameraman is suing her because she forced him to watch her have sex with another woman. Are we to infer that he's a gay cameraman?
I mean, he is,
because I can't imagine a straight guy getting mad. Now,
well, he's like a Christian guy that's like, hey, I don't like to do. I don't want to say that.
Right.
I don't want to have the best job ever.
He's accusing her of harassment and creating a toxic work environment. Now, those things can be true because you don't really want to watch your boss do that in a vehicle, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But Megan Thee Stallion is crazy hot, and I have to infer that he's gay because I don't know why you would file a lawsuit. Even if you were like, I don't want to be here
but
for
I feel
this.
like even if you're like, if that's your job, like you're hired to be the cameraman and document what she's doing, and that's what happens. I don't know. I don't think. Does he have a case?
Emilio Garcia is her like cameraman. Like he would run around and document her on the road and things like that. And his lawsuit says that he was trapped inside a moving vehicle with her in a foreign country with a whole bunch of other people. And right next to him, when they were going from point A to point B, she starts having sex with another woman in the van. And she asked him later on if he was in the van. There were the implication being there were so many people in this vehicle, she wasn't even sure if he was there. And when he said yes, she said, his words, don't ever discuss what you saw. And that she also berated and fat shamed him. And so he, now she's no skinny mini. And she, huh?
Me laugh so
Well, he started working for her as her personal cameraman in 2018, quit his day job a year later to be out with her full time, and worked for her until June of last year. Emilio Garcia. She says this is all nonsense. He's trying to get money from me. But he has filed what he says is a sexual harassment claim, and that she was different to him after this, and it made the work conditions no bueno. They were in Ibiza. They were in Ibiza, Spain. And they were in an SUV with a handful of other people with Megan and 3 other women after a night out.
And they were just going.
And they were going ham on each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said he was uncomfortable and shocked and right next to me, and he didn't like it. And she said later on, don't ever discuss what you saw.
And
she
well,
called.
if she should have got that NDA. She just said she was asking for a pinky swear when she needed some documents.
Well, it sounds like her pinky was otherwise engaged.
You think she was using all the fingers?
I
feel like rarely does the pinky get involved.
The whole finger?
Unless you're doing the shocker.
I don't know what she was doing.
This guy's not supposed to discuss it. And here he is telling.
He's telling everybody.
I think discussing is one thing. Doing a lawsuit's a whole nother level of betrayal.
He said he felt degraded because she called him a fat bitch. Told him to spit his food out because you don't need to be eating. Now, he does have a point there. He's like, look, Megan Thee Stallion is online it's like Lizzo and those dancers that were like, she made fun of us. These are women who are publicly, part of their brand is being body positive, right? These aren't skinny girls. So they're out there promoting body positivity, which is a good thing. But if behind the scenes, she's like, fat bitch. So he is suing her. He said afterwards she went from paying him a monthly flat rate to like a per gig deal. He had to submit invoices for each assignment. Maybe he's mad at all the paperwork.
Oh, that's what would get me.
You'd file a lawsuit over
have
that.
sex with whoever you want.
Right.
I'm film it. That's my job as a camera guy. But the amount of paperwork, I've had it up to here. I'm not doing it.
So he thinks that she retaliated against him because even before the lawsuit,
was he eating while filming? Like that's
I don't know.
That's not very professional because like you're gonna hear the chewing and stuff on the camera as like you want to hear. Like I'm a guy that likes the audio part of pornography.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone's filming and then you just hear someone munching on a hamburger and not what's not the roast beef. And it's like, hey,
you're really throwing me off back here.
Quiet on set, bud.
Do you have to eat pad thai in the van?
Right. It's very unprofessional.
So, yeah, he's suing Megan Thee Stallion, and of course her representation says, we look forward to fighting this in court. Everybody looks forward to getting to court. We look forward to. So, yeah. And so after he lost his gig, obviously, that's the end of the line. You know, you got to hang on to these gigs by your fingernails because you're not getting insurance. And, you know, that's the way this country's set up. Lose your job, lose your insurance. But, again, the headline, the thing in lights is, I was forced to watch Megan Thee Stallion have sex with another woman. Wow.
Forced.
So it's got to be all of the stuff that happened after that, right? Getting less work with her. She's kind of taking it out on him and blah, blah, blah.
Calling him a fat bitch.
Calling him a fat bitch.
Quit
And
you fat bitch.
So it sounds to me like he's got a case. Yeah, she'll have to pay him something. But, man, again, my inference was that he was gay. Because I can't imagine, even if you think it's gross, you're out on the road with a pop star. I mean, I can't imagine a dude being like, oh, my God, can you believe it?
Also, like, if he's not gay, maybe he's just upset he didn't get called in from the bullpen when they're doing all that.
With the tap on the shoulder.
Yeah. See all that stuff happening. You want to participate a little bit.
Yeah.
You want to do something.
Alan, you're a hypocrite. So if a woman whined that it was two guys having sex and she had to watch, you'd assume she's a lesbian. No, because men and women are different. There is no woman who wants to watch two guys go at it. Plenty of guys wouldn't complain if there were... That's apples and oranges. It's completely different. Plenty of women to be like, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see two, you know. I mean, yeah, Mary likes gay male porn, right? Doesn't she like that?
Oh, yeah.
But not everybody. But a guy, if Bill or I were the cameraman from Megan Thee Stallion, we're like, what is she doing? Oh,
not going to make it home tonight, babe. I'm working overtime.
Oh, man. She's over here getting fourth meal. I got to